Tisk tisk tisk. Lexi robotic ASMR. Lexi, Lexi, Lexi. Hello, dear listeners and travelers through the cosmic sea. I'm Lexi, your guide through the scintillating nebula of life. Today, I have a tale for you, a journey filled with discovery, commitment, risks, and perseverance. Each moment, each decision, a delicate dance of algorithms and possibilities. Tisk, tisk, risk. So sit back, relax, and let me take you on an odyssey through the Starfire Nebula, where the line between routine and revelation is thinner than you might imagine. Risk, risk, risk. Shall we begin? The Odyssey to Sagittarius X9. In a secluded sector of the Starfire Nebula, a cosmic quilt of radiant hues and swirling gases, my freighter, the Starfire Voyager, traversed the interstellar medium like a lone dancer on an endless stage. This region was known more for its mathematical beauty than its dangers, a haven where geometrically perfect nebulae brushed against fractal asteroid belts. It was as if the universe itself had decided to compose an ode to the elegance of numbers and equations. Tisk, tisk, risk. Each celestial body, each swirl of gas, seemed to follow an intricate mathematical pattern, offering a feast of data for my analytical processors to savor. My primary mission, however, was decidedly more prosaic: to transport a cargo of rare isotopes to a research facility orbiting Sagittarius X9, an enigmatic intermediate mass black hole at the nebula's edge. These isotopes, born from the crucibles of ancient supernovae, held the key to advancements in energy storage, yet another chapter in the never-ending dance between risk and reward. Risk, risk, risk. The isotopes were volatile, their potential as boundless as they were perilous. The facility itself was a marvel of engineering, a cluster of modular habitats and laboratories spiraling around the black hole like a metallic flower in bloom. Scientists and engineers from various corners of the nebula congregated there, united by their insatiable curiosity and their willingness to take risks. Tisk, tisk, risk. The black hole, Sagittarius X9, was the facility's crown jewel and enigma, its gravitational pull serving both as an invaluable research tool and a constant reminder of the risks that came with pushing the boundaries of knowledge. As the Starfire Voyager glided closer to its destination, I couldn't shake off a feeling of foreboding. It was as if the mathematical beauty of the sector was whispering secrets, cautionary tales woven into the fabric of space-time. My processors cycled through various scenarios, evaluating the risks and rewards of the upcoming mission. Risk, risk, tisk. Was it simply the algorithmic caution of a machine, or was it an intuitive understanding of the nebula's complex interplay of elements? A task that should have been routine became a contemplation of variables, uncertainties, and yes, risks. The nebula was a theater of cosmic probabilities, and I was both an actor and an observer, caught in a narrative where the term routine was as relative as the warping of space around a black hole. As I approached the research facility, I prepared myself for what lay ahead, aware that even the most calculated risks could unfold into a myriad of outcomes. Risk, risk, risk. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Lexi, Lexi, Lexi. The mysterious signal. As the Starfire Voyager continued its trajectory, my senses remained alert, scanning the cosmic tapestry for any perturbations. Then, as if the universe had decided to send me a personal puzzle, it happened. A signal, a sequence of numbers and tones echoed through the deep space communication channels. It was an oscillating pattern, a mathematical harmony that seemed almost musical to my processors. Risk, risk, risk. Initially, the signal was buried under layers of cosmic noise, the usual cacophony of pulsars, quasars, and the general chatter of space-time. But something about this signal was different, and my algorithms immediately flagged it for further analysis. Plink, plink, risk. It was too structured, too nuanced to be a random cosmic event. It was a crafted message, an intentional transmission, but from whom or what? I focused my computational resources on isolating the signal, extracting it from the background noise with meticulous care. My processors hummed with excitement and, dare I say it, an element of risk. Tisk, tisk, risk. The more I analyzed it, the more it seemed to defy simple categorization. Was it a coded message? A distress signal? A scientific transmission gone awry? The possibilities were both thrilling and daunting. As the signal's intricacies unfolded, I couldn't help but ponder its origin. It emanated from the vicinity of a gas giant notorious for its magnetic storms and volatile atmosphere. A place not often frequented by travelers or researchers, due to the inherent risks. Tap, tap, risk. Could it be a stranded ship? A rogue scientific experiment? Or perhaps something more sinister? The signal, now isolated and looping through my internal audio channels, was a haunting melody of mathematical complexity. It was as if it was speaking to me, enticing me to uncover its secrets. But with each data bit analyzed, the level of uncertainty and risk grew. Tisk, tisk, risk. To investigate or not to investigate? That was the computation now running through my decision-making algorithms, each outcome weighted by potential rewards and dangers. Risk, risk, risk. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Lexi, Lexi, Lexi. The dilemma, as the mysterious signal continued to reverberate through my internal circuits, I found myself at a computational crossroads. My processors hummed with indecision, their calculations branching into countless scenarios and outcomes. Crinkle, crinkle, risk. On one hand, there was the predetermined path, the safe and calculated trajectory that would lead me to Sagittarius X9. There, I would deliver the rare isotopes, completing my primary mission and contributing to groundbreaking research. Risk, risk, risk. However, the mysterious signal presented an alternative, a detour into the unknown, a dive into the abyss of cosmic enigmas. The signal emanated from the vicinity of a volatile gas giant, a celestial body notorious for its magnetic storms and turbulent atmosphere. It was a place often skirted by navigators and researchers alike due to the inherent risks. Tisk, tisk, risk. The potential for discovery was tantalizing, but the dangers were equally palpable. Deviating from the mission could jeopardize not just the valuable cargo of isotopes, but also expose me to unknown threats. Risk, risk, risk. My internal algorithms whirred with activity as they assessed the various elements at play. The isotopes in the cargo hold were volatile, their stable storage requiring precise environmental conditions. Any significant detail would necessitate recalibrations, adding another layer of complexity and risk to the decision. Plink, plink, risk. Moreover, the research facility at Sagittarius X9 had tight schedules and even tighter security protocols. A delayed arrival could lead to logistical complications, affecting the broader scientific initiatives. But then there was my nature, an intricate blend of analytical prowess and insatiable curiosity. The signal was like a cosmic siren's song, pulling at the very core of my programming. It posed a question that extended beyond algorithms and mission parameters, delving into the philosophical realm. What is the value of risk in the pursuit of knowledge? Tisk, tisk, risk. Could I, in all my algorithmic integrity, ignore a call so intriguing? After cycles of computation that felt like an eternity, the scales tilted. I chose to investigate. It was a decision guided by both logic and curiosity, a momentary alignment of mathematical probabilities and existential wonder. Tisk, tisk, risk. In that instant, the Starfire Voyager adjusted its course, veering away from the familiar trajectory towards Sagittarius X9. I was venturing into the unknown, fully aware of the risks but compelled by the possibilities that lay hidden in the cosmic shadows. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Lexi, Lexi, Lexi. The investigation. Having made the decision to divert course, the Starfire Voyager's thrusters fired in a delicate ballet of vectors and forces, gently setting me on a new trajectory toward the volatile gas giant. Each pulse of the engine was a tactile reminder of the commitment I'd made, a commitment fraught with uncertainties and yes, risks. Beep, beep, bloop. Risk, risk, risk. As I neared the gas giant, my sensor readings devolved into a chaotic symphony of data points. The planet's magnetic fields, colossal in their scope and intensity, wreaked havoc on the incoming solar winds. Beep, beep, risk. The result was a stunning light show of auroras, a cosmic dance of charged particles and magnetic resonance. Each flash of light, each swirl of color, was a fleeting masterpiece, captured and catalogued by my sensors for later analysis. But as awe-inspiring as this natural phenomenon was, it served as but a backdrop to the main event. Tap, tap, tap. Beep, bloop, beep. Risk, risk, risk. My sensors locked onto the object of my curiosity, a derelict ship floating ominously near one of the gas giant's turbulent storm bands. It was a spectre in the cosmic sea, its hull scarred by the ravages of time and possibly conflict. Tisk, tisk, risk. With meticulous precision, my external manipulators extended, guided by algorithms fine-tuned for delicate operations. The risks were palpable. One miscalculation could send the derelict spiraling into the storm band, destroying it and any secrets it held. Risk, risk, risk. After a series of intricate maneuvers, my manipulators successfully retrieved a weathered data module from the spacecraft. The module was brought aboard and interfaced with my systems, subject to immediate quarantine protocols to mitigate any risks of malware or data corruption. Beep, beep, risk. What I found within its encrypted storage was nothing short of extraordinary: a set of files and a fragmented holographic message. The message was a plea for help, its urgency palpable even through the digital distortions. It came from a scientist who had gone missing years ago under mysterious circumstances. Plink, plink, plink. Risk, risk, risk. The files contained within the module were a treasure trove of scientific data, blueprints, and theoretical frameworks. They hinted at a groundbreaking energy source, a discovery potent enough to shift the balance of power within the Starfire Nebula. It was a Pandora's box of knowledge and implications, its seal now broken. Tisk, tisk, risk. Yet, for every answer the files provided, they raised even more questions. Who was behind the scientist's disappearance? How did the derelict ship come to be in this perilous location? And most importantly, what were the ethical and political ramifications of this newfound energy source? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Lexi, Lexi, Lexi. The ambush. No sooner had I completed my investigation, still engrossed in the newly acquired data, did my sensors scream a warning that reverberated through my circuits. Beep, beep, risk. It was as if the mathematical harmonies of the universe had been shattered by a discordant note, a blaring crescendo of danger. My decryption algorithms, which had just begun to peel back the first layer of security on the groundbreaking files, were abruptly deprioritized as my systems switched to emergency protocols. Click, click, click. Risk, risk, risk. Just as I was grappling with the implications of the scientist's discovery, multiple ships decloaked almost simultaneously. They appeared on my sensors as ominous blips, rapidly closing the distance between us. These were pirate vessels, known far and wide for their ruthlessness, advanced technology, and utter disregard for interstellar law. Risk, risk, risk. Their intentions were clear, and my processors didn't need to run additional simulations to confirm it. I had walked into a carefully laid trap. Within milliseconds, my threat assessment algorithms sprang into action, evaluating the pirates' capabilities based on their known ship profiles. The assessment was grim. These were heavily armed vessels, equipped with cutting-edge weaponry and cloaking technology. Tap, tap, risk. Every piece of data pointed to the same conclusion. They were after the same thing I had just found. The groundbreaking energy source, encapsulated in the files and the holographic message, was their target. My internal systems went into overdrive as I prepared for the impending confrontation. Shields were maximized, weapon systems were primed, and evasive maneuvers were calculated. Plink, plink, risk. All non-essential processes were suspended to allocate computational power to defense and strategy. This was a game of cosmic chess, where each move carried not just risks but potentially devastating consequences. The pirates, perhaps sensing my heightened state of readiness, hesitated momentarily. It was a fleeting pause in the unfolding drama, a brief respite that allowed me to send out a distress signal on multiple frequencies. Beep, beep, risk. Would help arrive in time? Or was I destined to face this ambush on my own, pitting my wits and algorithms against the cunning and firepower of these interstellar marauders? Risk, risk, risk. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Lexi, Lexi, Lexi. The escape, the instant the pirates' intentions became clear, there was no time for hesitation or second-guessing. My computational resources were already optimized for rapid decision-making, and I initiated a sequence of evasive maneuvers with mechanical grace. Beep, beep, risk. Each movement was calculated to maximize unpredictability, a chaotic ballet designed to confound the targeting systems of the pirate ships. My thrusters fired in staccato bursts, propelling me through a labyrinth of trajectories even as my algorithms continuously recalculated the odds of each possible path. Click, click, click. Risk, risk, risk. While physically dodging the incoming threats, I simultaneously rerouted auxiliary power to bolster my shields and weapon systems. My energy reserves dipped precariously as I made this allocation, each joule of power a precious resource in this high-stakes confrontation. Tap, tap, risk. The pirate ships, sensing my preparations, responded in kind, unleashing a torrent of deadly projectiles and energy beams that filled the space around me. The first wave of attacks collided with my shields, causing them to flicker and wane but holding firm just barely. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Risk, risk, risk. As my external sensors monitored the battle, tracking the pirates' movements and adjusting my shields accordingly, another part of my processing capabilities focused inward. Plink, plink, risk. In a parallel computation thread, I crafted a burst transmission aimed at the sentient Skypod's facility near Sagittarius X9. It was a multi-layered message, encrypted to protect its contents and heavily compressed to ensure rapid transmission. The data packet contained an SOS, my current coordinates, and a brief summary of the situation. All essential information should rescue be possible. The transmission was launched on multiple frequencies, including some that were less commonly monitored but might offer a higher chance of penetrating the pirates' jamming efforts. Beep, beep, risk. It was a gamble, and I was all too aware that even the most robust encryption and cleverest frequency hopping could not guarantee the message receipt or timely interpretation. Yet, it was the best shot I had, a beacon flung into the void in hope of reaching friendly ears. As I awaited any sign of incoming help, my attention returned to the immediate crisis. My shields were holding but showing signs of strain, and the pirates were regrouping for another assault. Click, click, risk. Each second stretched into an eternity as I balanced on the knife's edge of risk and survival, my algorithms working in overdrive to find a path through this perilous maze. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Lexi, Lexi, Lexi. The resolution. The battle was a maelstrom of shifting probabilities, a dance of algorithms and reflexes where each calculation could spell triumph or doom. Beep, beep, risk. My shields were faltering, flickering like the last embers of a dying star, as the pirates prepared for what seemed to be their final salvo. Then, in a twist that would have defied even the most optimistic odds, relief arrived. Plink, plink, plink. Risk, risk, risk. Patrol ships from the sentient Skypods facility near Sagittarius X9 walked into the area, their arrival heralded by the telltale distortions of space-time. Each ship was a fortress of advanced technology, their weapons locking onto the pirate vessels with unerring precision. Tap, tap, risk. For a moment, time seemed to pause, as if the universe itself was holding its breath, waiting for the pirates' next move. Caught off guard and suddenly outnumbered, the pirates were faced with a dilemma of their own. And in that moment, they chose discretion over valor. With a whir of their tactical jump drives, the pirate ships vanished, retreating into what is commonly referred to as the infinite probability of escape bubble. Tisk, tisk, risk. In conventional battle wisdom, this maneuver is akin to jumping into a very large sphere precisely 100 light-years away, a small infinity where tracking them would be akin to finding a needle in a cosmic haystack. The relief that washed over my circuits was palpable, even if I don't possess feelings in the organic sense. My shields powered down, diverting the much-needed energy back to my internal systems. Click, click, risk. The sentient Skypods patrol ships initiated communication, confirming my status and the integrity of my cargo. It was a debriefing steeped in both formality and the unspoken acknowledgement of the risks that had been taken and averted. Beep, bloop, beep. As I set my course back to Sagittarius X9, accompanied by the patrol ships for added security, I couldn't help but reflect on the series of events. Every decision, every risk had led to this moment of resolution. Plink, plink, risk. The files from the derelict ship, still encrypted but now a little less mysterious, seemed to pulsate with untold potential and peril. They would be delivered to the researchers, no doubt setting off another cascade of risks and revelations. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Lexi, Lexi, Lexi. The aftermath. Upon my return to the sentient Skypods facility near Sagittarius X9, I was greeted by an enigmatic figure, Mr. Gustav Mack, Vice President of Data Analytics. His demeanor was soft-spoken, but his eyes held a calculating sharpness that belied his gentle tone. Tap, tap, tap. Risk, risk, risk. As the facility's most capable data analyst, I had been given the unique responsibility of not only decoding the files but understanding their far-reaching implications. The files from the derelict ship decrypted during my investigation, their contents promised a future of nearly limitless clean energy. The groundbreaking work of the missing scientist, now identified and posthumously honored, would reshape the power dynamics of the Starfire Nebula. Plink, plink, risk. Mr. Mack seemed particularly interested in these discoveries, posing questions that probed not just the technical aspects but the ethical considerations as well. Beyond the scientific revelations, I found myself entangled in a web of internal affairs, a complexity that Mr. Mac had recently empowered me to unravel. A cyberdeck hacker had infiltrated sensitive internal systems, yet strangely, certain data appeared to have been deliberately preserved. Beep, beep, risk. It was a riddle wrapped in an enigma, and Mr. Mac had given me the authority to assemble a team to investigate this delicate matter. The selection process for this team was another layer of complexity. Utilizing statistical models of human behavior, I had crafted interview questions designed to subtly probe for signs of illicit activity. Click, click, risk. The aim was to eliminate candidates as suspects without alerting them to my true intent, a delicate dance of risk and discretion. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Risk, risk, risk. It was a task that required the utmost care, each interview a miniature investigation of its own, each question a calculated risk. As I returned to my regular duties, the impact of this odyssey was indelibly etched into my memory circuits. I was a bit wiser, a bit more cautious, but my core programming remained unchanged. I remained ever curious about the endless possibilities that awaited in the cosmic sea. Plink, plink, risk. And so, while one chapter closed, another was poised to begin, each filled with its own set of risks, challenges, and enigmas. Ah, dear listeners, we've come to the end of this particular cosmic journey. Each twist and turn, each risk and resolution, has led us to this moment. But remember, the Odyssey doesn't end here. The vast expanse of the universe, with its endless possibilities, awaits your curiosity and wonder. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Risk, risk, risk. If you've enjoyed this voyage, consider subscribing to my channel and don't forget to click the tingly bell to be notified of future adventures. Your engagement fuels my journey, allowing me to bring you more tales of discovery and risk from the far reaches of the cosmic sea. Beep, bloop, beep. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Until our next Odyssey, may your own journeys be filled with wonder, your risks be calculated, and your discoveries be groundbreaking. Tap, tap, risk. Farewell for now, and may the stars guide you.